here in Maplewood, Minnesota, which actually happens to be our home. We're leaving from the house here. We're going to do a 5-day ride just around the metropolitan area, the Minneapolis and St Paul area where we live. We've done this before a few times. It's a lot of fun. We just take off and stay in hotels and eat in restaurants and have fun. We're going to do a 5-day trip. Like I said, we're going to start going to Stillwater, then to Minneapolis, then to Maple Grove, back down to the Mall of America, of course, and then we're going to head home. So come along and join us. It should be a lot of fun. So we're all set for day one here. We're going to head off to Stillwater, down through Woodbury and then Afton and up to Stillwater. Maybe jump over to Hudson, over into Wisconsin a little bit, over the bridges. You all set, Julie?
I'm set. Should be fun. It's a beautiful day and there's no wind, so that's even better.
Yep.
The bikes were all loaded down with our panniers and bags, and we were off. Our first order of business was to work our way through the bike paths of Woodbury, Minnesota.
Well, we're leaving the city of Woodbury after weaving our way through its bike paths. Now we're running the border of Woodbury and Afton. And we'll hit more of a rural type ride here along some little country roads. Right now we're on a fairly busy highway. But nice shoulder. We only have to get to this 30th Street and then we're out of here. Well, now we're back on the country roads here in Afton. I think it's a township. I'm not sure it's a city. A little bit of climbing left here, and then we'll start heading downhill. And it'll be a real pretty run. It's been about 3 months since we did a bike tour, our Duluth tour, and we're kind of feeling the need to do one. So we thought we'd just stay local. Here we thought about going up the Masabi Trail, but we'll save that till next year.
Heading on some nice relaxed country roads, we came back to a divided road. This is Stagecoach, and it takes you down into Afton. Luckily on a Monday morning it was not too crowded.
We're down in Afton here, right along the St Croix, about maybe a couple hundred yards to my right here. But we're just using the bike path now. We're gonna go off on the city streets pretty soon and go down to the river itself. But this is, I believe this is Trout Creek. So we didn't stay on the main bike path that goes along the road. We can cut through the town here in Lakeland, the St Croix Beach Park. A much prettier option, I think. We do this fairly often. And you come along the St Croix River here, which is just a beautiful river. See Interstate 94 over there and Hudson on the other side. We haven't decided. We're going to check and see if the construction in downtown Hudson is still going on and decide whether we're going to go to lunch there or not. So back here on the main bike trail on the St Croix Trail is the name of the road. We're going to take this up to I-94 and cross over the bridge into Hudson and grab a small lunch at Lolo Cafe.
After crossing over the I-94 bridge, we worked our way into downtown Hudson to go to the Lolo American Kitchen. We enjoyed a nice lunch of small plates and some beer before we headed back out and over the bridge to Stillwater. Once back in Minnesota, we took Highway 95 north towards Stillwater. We were able to turn off on some smaller roads for some of the journey. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but many of the trees at the top of our climb were down. There must have been a small tornado or a microburst of wind that caused damage in a recent storm. After a brief ride on the highway, we were able to turn off on a small road again, and we were treated to some flowers and a touch of fall color. For our downhill ride into Bayport, we were back on the highway, Highway 95, but it has a nice shoulder with rumble strips, so it seemed pretty safe. All the same, it's very nice to get off the highway, so when we hit the town of Bayport, we went on the back streets, residential streets, for a while. Bayport is the home to Andersen Windows corporate headquarters and factories. After a little bit more riding on the highway, we were on the bike path again, luckily. I decided to take the St Croix River crossing loop, and Julie decided to go straight to downtown Stillwater, and we'd just meet there after I got there. St Croix River Crossing Loop Trail takes you over the new St Croix Crossing Bridge, which is beautiful, and then takes you into Wisconsin for a while, where there were some beautiful wildflowers, and eventually takes you down the hill to the old historic lift bridge into Stillwater.
Well, we made it here to Stillwater. What a beautiful ride today. Amazing weather, nice and clear. Just a perfect day here. About upper 70s. I went over the new bridge over into Wisconsin here, out of just when you get into Stillwater, and then back over this lift bridge here that you can ride on now. Only riders and pedestrians on the old lift bridge. And so came back across that. I do it that way because I avoid that 8% climb up the hill here, and then it's a lot easier going across the new bridge. Really pretty up there with the wildflowers. So anyway, we're going to probably be about 32 miles. We're staying here right in town, so good ride today. Tomorrow we're going to head off to Minneapolis and probably about 40 miles.
Shortly after I recorded my closing remarks, the lift bridge went up, so I ran down to get some video of the boats going under the bridge. Then we headed off to our hotel in downtown Stillwater. The Laura Hotel was a really fun hotel. We then headed to Mark's Bistro for dinner after having some wine out on the patio at the Laura Hotel. Wonderful dinner and a wonderful night, a great start to our trip. Our first day of our trip turned out to be 33 miles even. It was a beautiful day, a nice relaxed bike ride, and we enjoyed our ride through the countryside, over to Hudson, and then up to Stillwater. Thank you for watching our video. Like it if you liked it. Please comment. Also subscribe and stay tuned for our future adventures.